Hello, my name is Benjamin. In this presentation, I'll walk you through the influence of human performance technology on the use of educational technology. The focus will be in the field of online learning environment. Now let's get started by looking at human performance technology, educational technology, and online learning. HPT influence on the use of educational technology and HPT application to online learning environment. We will then continue to look at HPT influence on the use of educational technology and its application to the online learning environment. One may ask, what is human performance technology? Kang and Molender 2018 stated that there are various definitions of human performance technology. International Society for Performance Improvement 2013 defines HPT as a systematic approach to improving productivity and competence by using a set of methods, procedures, and strategies for solving identified problems during the analysis phase of its model. In fact, the systematic approach includes improving productivity and competence, using a set of methods and procedures, and a strategy for solving problems and realizing opportunities related to the performance of people. And so when we talk about HPT, we are concerned about performance gap, which is gotten as a result of behavior and performance. The word human in the HPT represents the individuals and groups that make up organizations. Performance, recent activities, and measurable outcomes. And technology represents a systematic and systemic approach to solve practical problems. Holt and Stefanik 2016 stated that performance is the valued result of the work of the people working within a system. Therefore, it is important to know that HPT includes principles and applications that are concerned with the impact of any factors that affect results. HPT adopts a rational, logical, and transparent approach to ensure performance improvement. Because of its systems, it requires that a comprehensive performance analysis be conducted to identify all factors contributing to the present level of performance. It requires a specific statement of the mission of the system in which improved performance is being sought. If there are conflicts at the mission level, then the performance technologist will first focus on the performance area. If the mission is accepted by all, alternative solutions are elaborated and objectively analyzed for cost and benefits. The process is reasoned and data driven because all relevant elements must be taken into account. It is therefore highly participative. Data are collected directly and indirectly from everywhere and everyone who is involved. It is also an honest and transparent approach to improving performance. HPT also emphasizes that we must look at performance within the context of a system, recognizing the interdependency of the various factors that affect performance. It recognizes the necessity of looking at people while determining those factors that impact the results that those people produce. In other words, people at the heart of any analysis we do. It defines human performance in terms of result, not activity, and focuses on the value of the result, which requires an independent evaluation of the output. Tucci 2006. So looking at this explanation, it is clear that HPT is highly focused on analysis and then results. It is actually data driven. It has to have some kind of concrete information to base on it to make decisions, which at the end will impact organizations effectively. Now let's look at HPT model. HPT model begins with the analysis phase. Then it moves on to intervention selection and then intervention implementation. Evaluation is applied to each phase of the model. So under analysis, there will be evaluation, intervention selection, there will be evaluation, and then intervention implementation, there will also be evaluation. According to ISPI, HPT process begins with a comparison of the present and the desired levels of individual and organizational performance. To identify the performance gap, a cost analysis is conducted to determine what impact the work environment and the people are having on performance. Once the performance gap and the causes have been identified, the appropriate interventions are designed and developed. These may include measurement and feedback systems, new tools and equipment, compensation and reward systems, selection and placement of employees, and training and development. The interventions are then implemented and the change process managed. Evaluation is done after each phase of the process. Harrod and Kipps 2006 also stated that HPT professionals apply more or one of the following model processes. These include identifying performance requirements, specifying current performance, defining performance gap, specifying performance gap factors, identifying potential interventions, selecting performance interventions, developing performance interventions, implementing performance interventions, and monitoring performance interventions. To put all together, it is obvious that HPT process include analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation of programs to ensure that there is the attainment of the most cost-effective, greater behavior outcomes and accomplishments. HPT integrated into an online learning environment has a tremendous positive impact on increasing learning and enhancing the total educational process and experiences. When you look at some of the elements found in this model, you might actually see that it's similar or almost the same as the instructional design model, which is called ADDIE. It also has these elements because ADDIE is made up of analysis, design, development, implementation, and then evaluation. But then there is one difference here that I want to make it clear. Difference between instructional design and then human performance technology. As instructional design is focused on finding knowledge gap to design to resolve it. Human performance technology focuses on performance gap, and this gap is achieved when there is behavior and then results. Another thing that I want to make it clear is instructional design designed for learning, whilst HPT designs for performance. I mean, these are vivid differences between instructional design and then human performance technology. So maybe we might think that they are interrelated. Yes, of course, because they all deal with analysis and designing, developing, and then implementing things. But then one focuses on knowledge, that is knowledge gap, and the other focuses on performance gap, which is very important for us to consider when striking difference between them. So as the models which are being used by these two should be considered. Another important element to talk about in this presentation is educational technology. 21st century teaching and learning have technology integrated into the classroom, being online or on-site. Educational technology makes it possible to assist learners with specific needs learn to progress from one stage to the other using assistive technology. In educational technology, HPT applies a wide range of interventions that are drawn from many and places rigorous analysis of present and desired levels of performance, identifies the causes for the performance gap, offers a wide range of interventions with expectation to improve performance, as well as guiding change process and evaluating the results. There are a number of examples when it comes to edutech innovatives. These include digital readers and tablets, the use of 3D printing, virtual reality, gamification, cloud technology, artificial intelligence, and mobile technology. All these contribute to the development of educational systems. In addition to that, educational technology has so many things to offer to education system, and applying HPT makes it more interesting. Educational technology projects like global networks allow learners to work with peers across state and national boundaries. Also, technology tools such as Skype, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, and others make it possible for students and working professionals to collaborate to share knowledge. Global project based link learners to peers around the globe to build a cultural understanding, communication skills, and awareness about the world. This is according to IST 2016. Now let's look at online learning. A whole new way of learning is emerging because of the recent increase in the use of technology, as well as restrictions that may come across and prevent students and teachers to be on site. The recent example is the COVID-19, which has caused so many schools to be closed down. Online learning has changed the way that people can learn to increase performance. It is important to know that virtual learning technologies make it possible to implement online learning modalities. This was according to Martin et al. 2019. Online sessions include interactive content to keep participants engaged and also making sure that they are active throughout the learning process. It also provides learners the opportunity to share their ideas on a topic or a subject through collaboration. Most of the times, it is self-paced learning where participants can contribute anytime in it and also make sure that they complete their task. Online learning program implementation might require teachers or instructors to apply the knowledge of HPT to design learning experiences that would enhance students' learning. This might include designing lesson plans, identifying appropriate teaching and learning resources, and diverse approaches that a teacher uses to create and deliver instructions for all students to understand. Also, a teacher might reflect teaching activities and ponder whether lesson work or not for students. Most often, teachers ask students for their feedback to understand their learning needs to improve lesson plans and deliveries. Continuous feedback and reflection are ways of delivering students' needs and identify their learning gaps as well as teachers' performance gaps that need to be resolved. A situation like this can apply HPT models or approaches to improve student learning and teaching performance. Hashmi et al. 2018 investigated performance issues in 3 high schools in Herat, Afghanistan. Their findings show that there were a performance gap between the present and desired levels of performance among all examined schools at different levels. After the underlying causes were identified, interventions were proposed according to Afghanistan education documents. Another important reason for this presentation is how HPT influenced the use of educational technology. Human Performance Technology (HPT), being a systematic process, helps learners and educators around the world to apply its methodology to understand what the performance issue is and what caused it, so that appropriate intervention can be designed to address it. To build an online learning content requires the e-learning designer to understand what the performance issue is to be able to design instructions to resolve it. The designer then applies HPT to conduct the gap analysis to determine the gap between the desired state and the actual state. The gap analysis gives the designer a metric to use in the evaluation phase, which determines if the intervention implemented achieved the goals of the program or not. Now, talking about how HPT influenced the use of educational technology, we can precisely talk about how it helps to identify performance gap, how HPT is applied to design for performance, and how it allows to bridge learning gaps, as well as its unique way of evaluating learning and educational programs. To highlight how HPT influenced the use of educational technology, we can also talk about how it helps to conduct needs analysis in order to identify learning objectives, and then how it guides the selection of teaching and learning resources. According to Che 2015, HPT is applied to an online learning environment to enhance teacher development programs, and added that human performance technology is more about building capacity to perform better. The role of HPT in teaching and learning with the use of educational technology looks at not as a tool, but as a change agent. It changes the way people learn and the way people perform. The focus is not on how to use the educational technology. The focus is on how to meet the goals, according to Spectre 2015. This does not mean finding educational technology and deciding how best to use it. It means analyzing the problem without any preconceived notion that technology will be the solution. Looking at the technology as the answer, it continues the idea that there is one program that will be the solution for a problem instead of looking at a comprehensive solution. The difference in this can be seen in what is happening as many transition from face-to-face classes to remote learning environments. HPT is important in ensuring that educational technology meets the targeted goals outlined in the education system. Educational technology has a rapid growth of innovation, particularly in improving human capability to do their duties. Educational technology has the potential to combining innovation from many other disciplines, such as quality management, process improvement, behavioral psychology, instructional system design, organizational development, and human resources management. The combination of that rapid growth has been known in the industry as a human performance technology. HPT focuses on how to improve capabilities as well as to improve the total quality of education. This is achieved by employing analysis to identify gaps that need solutions. Educational technology also utilizes a similar approach to building its framework for effective implementation, Spectre 2015. Looking at HPT application to online learning environment, Abasi and Pershin 2017 stated that the HPT field is rooted in a multidisciplinary knowledge base and uses models and theories to guide practice to increase performance. HPT can be used to identify potential barriers to online learning. It can be applied by the analysis of data to lead to findings with potential implications for action on the part of the online learning environment. HPT helps to identify performance gap. It supports content design process, and then it helps to identify online teachers' experience gaps, helping to diagnose issues and find interventions. Pershin 2016 described HTP as the most valued access to academic institutions and recommended a number of initiatives that aimed at significantly increasing the input and influence of scholars and academicians in the field of workplace learning and human performance technology. It is always assumed that learners' performance might change to increase knowledge than when they first encounter the learning environment. Also, Song and Kate 2009 stated that the Internet has provided opportunities and possibilities that offer the ability to provide learning solutions in every corner of the world, which has contributed to the shift in the way teaching and learning take place. In this 21st century, um, online learning is dominating in our education system. With this shift in the way teaching and learning is occurring today, integrating strategies related to instructional and human performance technology will make it possible for educational institutions and teachers to create blended learning environments that are interactive and engaging to the extent that the learner will be in the position to benefit high quality learning opportunities with the use of technology. Technology in education is actually not just hardware or devices, but it can be viewed as an active attitude that is cultural and societal process. It encompasses an active attitude and analyzes gaps in practices and policies to find solutions to education, which relates to the concept of HPT and the value it seeks to accomplish in and for organizations is phenomenal. Online learning include curation and addition of learning resources. Educators spend a lot of time reading, researching, and getting involved with other educators in online professional learning network. This paired with HPT can lead to the creation of important resources that support the learners and their learning goals. Feedback and assessment is also always ongoing. It is timely and constructive. It usually works best when there are clear targeted goals. One strategy is to employ HPT to track relevant information to provide opportunities to close learning gaps. Online learning is an evolving craft that requires an effective approach. When it comes to HPT future in educational technology, people might have so many questions to ask. For instance, so what is next? What will be the future of HPT? What I want to emphasize here is that HPT will continue to influence teaching and learning because of its relevance. For instance, it focuses on performance gap, which is always part of educational system. We need teachers who will perform. We need students who perform, and all these things has to be analyzed to find gaps in order to address any issue found. HPT will also continue to help design for performance, and as usual, it will continue to be integrated in various variables in educational technology systems. Let me take you through a study that supports the reason why I say that HPT has a future in educational technology. Martin 2017 studied how HPT model is applied to a charter school's professional development implementation. This case study is situated within a large K-12 public school located in the Greater Charlotte, NC metro area. Although the school has a professional development system in place, an analysis of this charter school's professional development implementation revealed several challenges that teachers face while attending school-wide professional development workshops. Some of the challenges include too much content and information being delivered at one time, too many face-to-face weekly meetings, and lack of follow-through and feedback of the content delivered in PD workshops. The application to the online learning environment was to assist a higher education institution in performance, effort, and resources allocation so that faculty, technology, and pedagogy support needs can be addressed. The team conducted an extensive stakeholder interviews along with organizational environment, workplace, worker, tax, and extra data analysis. Through these analysis, the team isolated performance issues and the causes behind them and suggested recommendations. Thorough analysis needs to be conducted during the designing and the implementation of the program. Could identify all performance issues that could impact the performance of teachers and students. So employing HPT to this scenario, you could see that it helped them to identify the main problem that has been causing issues to teachers within the region. So it is important to ensure that appropriate resources are secured for human performance technology to be implemented effectively in all schools and institutions. In conclusion, it can be emphasized that HPT can be applied to educational technology in the field of online learning. It can be used to inform and guide the definition of school performance in terms of students learning and teachers and other staff members who work in an online learning environment. Based on the HPT perspective, quality, productivity, and revenue are inherently aligned with employee learning, innovation, motivation, and overall satisfaction at all levels of performance. This means everything that HPT user determines necessary for the best results is critical to consider. HPT provides a variety of tools to assess gaps, and these gaps include learning and performance. In this alignment, that reveal themselves as performance deficits. Application of HPT principles allows institutions to use both systematic process to determine performance problems and field strategies to determine more targeted core causes within processes, teachers' contributions to work, and students' learning gaps. It is important to note that no single tool or model can sufficiently address the complexity of performance and online learning issues. Instead, HPT offers an idea of the performance that combines the expertise and effectiveness of many different approaches. Its purpose is not just about increasing quality and profits by improving processes and reducing deficit, nor just about improving learning or creating effective instructional programs. The focus of HPT is on addressing the wide spectrum of issues that impact performance guided by a clear definition of organizational success. Thank you for watching this presentation.